All right, so fifth period, just to ask your sub to hit pause. I'm going to try to work through these all, and I want to get it done really quickly. So just ask him to hit pause after each one so that you can catch up. I know you guys were going to get more time, but because of all the other grades, I decided not to take this test grade and just work examples. It's absolutely essential that you guys can work, especially this type of problems. We should have gotten 8 out of 10, and I had way too many kids miss every single one, or at least not get full points. So looking at these types of problems, you ought to be able to do these. Okay, so we're going to go backwards and work on this just a little bit more. Had way too many kids just not even know how to start on these. So that's going to be the focus, and that's why we're doing it this way. Going backwards. We're going to go backwards until we get this straight. The order matters. These words more than or less than, anytime you see the word than, and there's a couple of others that are on your cheat sheets, then you switch things around. So what you would have written here is 4n plus 3 equals, that's what is means, 155. And when you solve this, you should have gotten n is 38. Solving it, we'll just work it all right here on the screen. We need to move the 3 over to the other side, and that's going to give us 4n equals 155 minus 3, or 152. And then I'm going to divide by 4, and n would be 38. Properly written, it would look like that. N equals 38. The next one, number 2, I'll go over how to enter things into your calculator as far as this fraction goes. This would be 5 less than 2/3 a number. Absolutely essential that you write it the correct way in order to solve it correctly. And then we would move. Whenever I say move the 5 over and I talk about the claw method, well, what I'm actually doing in this case, I'm adding 5 to both sides. Okay, that's what the claw method does. That's what's actually happening. And so if you did the whole over-under method and this makes more sense to you, use this. Those 5's cancel, leaving 2/3 n on the left-hand side, and a 27 plus 5 makes 32. Now, what I'm doing is I'm dividing n by 2/3 to undo this. And the way that I can do that with fractions is multiply by the reciprocal. Again, I'll show you how to punch this in your calculator whenever I make it back to school, hopefully tomorrow. But that side cancels, leaving us with just n equals 48. So that was the answer, original equation in purple, 2n minus 5. I am going to just skip 3 and 4 for now. We'll practice this more, learning how to redo the formula that you see for this variable or this variable. Number 4, I just treated it like a bonus anyway, but like I said, not taking grades. These are the ones that we really need to understand. So the first one, pretty easy. Just combine like terms. This is where you should be punching things into your calculator and making sure you get the proper number, the proper coefficient. -4 minus 6. That makes -10x. Now I divide by -10 on both sides, and that's going to give me x is a positive 2. Number 2, a lot of these answers led to n equals 0, and I think that confused a lot of people. A whole lot of people put empty set when they shouldn't have, or no solution. So let's work through this one and be real careful. I have a positive 1 and a positive 6, okay? That makes plus 6, right? And so what I'm going to do is subtract 6 on both sides, giving me 0 equals negative 2n. Now I divide by negative 2. I get 0 divided by negative 2. If you'll punch that in your calculator, then you should get n equal 0. Okay? Now, I want you to try this. You punched it in as 0 divided by negative 2. Now try punching it in as negative 2 divided by 0. If you did that correctly, if you did that into your calculator, you should have gotten some sort of error message or something involving a divide by 0. If you see an error message, you can't divide by 0 is the point. You would have gotten no solution on that. Anytime you see the error message, that means no solution. 0 can be divided by a number, and that equals 0, but not the other way around. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to practice showing you the whole over-under method just because some of you aren't getting the whole claw idea, taking the claw and moving things over. So, just for a couple of them, here's what you would do as far as over-under. I want all my x's on one side, and I want all of my things without x's on the other side, so that I can, the other side of the equal sign, this so I can solve for something. And the way I'm going to do that is I want to move my x from this side, and for this particular problem that means I'm subtracting 7x, and we can do this all in one step. I want my 2 over on the other side, so let's see if we can use this little pointer deal. The 2, just like the claw, we're going to move it over here, and the way we do that with over under is I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So what that gives me then is 8 minus is 7x, or 1x. On the left hand side the 2's cancel. On the right hand side, negative 9, and this is where you should be punching it in your calculator. Negative 9 plus 2 is a negative 7. And then these 7x's cancel out on the right hand side. So my x is negative 7. The next one is one of those 0 problems, or a equals 0. I want to move my a's over, so I'm going to add 5a in this case to both sides. Yes, that's a 5a. And at the same time I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides to move it over. So 5's cancel. A 1 plus a 5a makes 6a equal. Here my negative 5 and 5a cancel. And my 5, in this case, 5 minus 5 gives us 0. Now when I divide 0 by 6 to get a alone, I get a is 0. That's not empty set, that's a equals 0. It's an answer. I'm going to switch back to the claw method. 4m moves over here. In the process it becomes negative, so I get negative 4 is equal to 4m minus 4m, which will give us negative 4 is equal to a 0. 4m minus 4m makes a 0. That statement is not true, so our answer is empty set. Okay, empty set, no solution. You would have only had 2 in these 10 problems that were no solution. Going on to number 6. Again, ask Mr. Dillard if he will pause this and let you catch up if you need to. Have a couple of p's to combine. We have a -8 to move. I'm just going to move that over there and move this 1p over here. So when I total up all my p's, well, let's do the 8 first. We'll end up with +8 minus 1 is equal to 8p. The other p moves over, makes a -1p, so that makes for 7p. 7 is equal to 7p. Divide it all by 7. P equal 1. Again, I cannot tell you how important being able to solve these types of problems really is. We should be able to do this by now. We're really getting behind if we can't pick it up and find answers to at least 8 out of 10 problems like this. So seek help from me or from somebody else if you don't have a clue when you look at these things. Alright, 8p, move it over, -14, move it over, and I would get a -8 plus 5. You should have punched that in the calculator. -8 plus 5, -3p, equal, 14 becomes positive, so I have 14 plus 14, or 18. My p is a -6. You have punched that in the calculator properly and gotten the proper negative answer. Playing along, practicing through, working on the calculator with me. It's important